We all know that some of our most valuable memories can last forever, but unfortunately, so can electronic waste. According to the United Nations, 20 to 50 million metric tons of e-waste are disposed worldwide every year. That's a lot, like a ridiculous amount. And with this being such a big problem, we're now starting to see many companies of all different sizes take up these various strategies to recycle and repurpose old electronics. So we're here today in downtown Apex with 621 Productions, a local video production and transfer service that is taking a really new and unique approach to electronic recycling. Welcome to The Good Guide to Business, a podcast presented by Better Business Bureau.
The Good Guide is all about conversations with businesses, organizations, and local leaders who are going above and beyond to make a difference in our community.
So grab a cup of coffee and get ready to hear from this episode's special guests. We have Jen and Jack Otepka, the owners of 621 Productions. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
We're excited to be right in the heart of downtown Apex today to talk to both of you. Thanks for letting us visit and welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having us. We're really excited to explain and tell you a little about what we do and how we contribute to not disposing things into our landfills. So
yeah, I've heard a little bit already, and I don't want to spoil too much for our listeners and for our viewers. And we have this amazing backdrop behind us too. So really just a great atmosphere to be here. We always love visiting businesses when we do these podcasts. So thank you guys again for letting us come here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I really want to start and, ask you guys first about your business in general. So can you guys tell me a little bit more about the services you provide here?
Sure, yeah. We transfer all the old forms of media. So we do videotapes, old film reels, 8mm and 16mm. We do slides, photos, negatives. Audio is big. We do audio reel-to-reel and cassette tapes. And we do a lot of broadcast formats as well. So there's Betacam and U-Matics and all sorts of that as well. Anything that's old, we pretty much convert.
So what made you two want to start a video production company?
Well, yeah, I mean, it goes back to me, really. I went to school for video production and photography, and I was always really into the movies and stuff like that. And then I worked for a video company that did weddings, and I did that for years, and we got married, and we started doing weddings together, and we started our own company. And that went for a few years. We were quite successful, and then we started having children, and we wanted to be with them during the weekends and not other people's families. So we kind of shifted, and a lot of people asked us if we converted old stuff. So I did old film for a family friend. We had a customer that wanted videotapes done, and it kind of just cascaded from there. So
yeah, the running joke is I married into it. My background is more that I bring the customer service piece to it. That's more my background. So, but it's great because I get to learn from him all of the tips and tricks, and it's always something new every day, which is great.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's something that I really like too about, having a podcast. I guess, both like production in a way is that you have a unique task every day with that.
Yes.
So one thing I know that we've talked about before a bit, and that I'm looking at right now that I think is just so cool is your in-house museum of antique media. So can you guys tell us a little bit more about this, where all this stuff comes from, and basically what you do with it?
Yes. One of our key attributes is trying to keep things out of the landfill. We have over 17 years amassed this collection of customers. Just once we transfer their stuff, they have it and they don't know what to do with it. Sometimes you can go on eBay and there is some value, but a lot of times it doesn't work. So we've created a museum. We also switch out our front windows. It really is enticing to people walking by downtown. They love seeing the old stuff. It brings back a lot of good memories to them. And the kids come in and they assume that everything is from the 1990s, which is really upsetting, but but it's great for them too. We do let people handle this stuff as well, so it's not just visual. People can hold an old camera and press the shutter and it clicks still, and that's really it really is sentimental to some people. And for people who aren't with us any longer, they can have that memory and brings back some happy times. So there's that as well. But we really like to keep as much as we can and recycle and make use of it. So that's what we're doing.
And it really draws people in because as people walk by, not a lot of people know that we're here. So they see it in the window, they come in, and it, like Jack said, it brings them back. And sometimes they don't even think that it's possible to recover their memories. And the feeling of seeing these old items, the memorabilia, people feel more secure letting it stay here, knowing that others are going to be able to value it as well.
Yeah, it's really great that you guys have found such like an educational way, I guess, to preserve all this. A little bit of a side question here. Do you guys have any favorite artifacts that you have on display here?
One of my favorites is the old projectors, but we also have there's some Edison records. They're the tube kind that were circular with the old horn that you would see in museums. And they're quite old, so we have one or two of them. And I think that's my favorite. You have one?
I just really enjoy seeing the professional reels. I run a lot of our 8mm and 16mm films, so I've seen a lot of footage. But we are huge Disney fans, so I love seeing all of the old, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck on the 8mm films, which we have some here.
That's really cool.
That is really cool. So why is electronics recycling important to both of you?
There is so much waste. I've always been really big into recycling, not just this kind of stuff, but even paper and the stuff that we normally do in our homes. But it weighs on me a lot because of what we see come through here. So we are digitizing slides, and videotapes take up a lot of space. And to see that not only in your home, but then to think of it, where is it going next? That's kind of in my mind a lot. So that's where it kind of cascaded into, hey, we're working with a local artist who can make sculptures out of this, or we can do something useful with it. And so we've really kind of pushed that.
Not a lot of our customers realize what we do, so we explain, would you like your items back? Because everyone gets their original items. But we also always offer, we do have the option to recycle. We do utilize tapes for recasing and work with local artists, things like that, to make them aware of what we do.
That's really great. And I mean, this whole working with a local artist thing, I just think is so great, so unique. I don't know how much is being picked up on the camera right now, but there's an awesome chandelier in a way made of old film up there. There's another piece of art right there. Can you guys just tell us a little more about how you're able to work with this artist to get this old media transformed into works of art?
Yes, her name is Letha Koffler, and she is a artist out of Raleigh, and her mixed media has always been really into the old computer software kind of stuff and videotapes. And then she does out of slides. She'll take the cardboard casings off or negatives and sew buttons and stuff like that. And it came out with a really beautiful, which is kind of like a lamp. You can put a light in there as well. But she created that, and it's it's been fun working with her and seeing how what we give her turns out. So. Yeah,
we the typical process. How it works is we have a storage area that we keep all of the recycled material that we don't personally reuse in our studio, and she comes on a quarterly basis to pick everything up, and then she'll drop some items off and switch out our artistic work, quarterly. So
That is just so neat. And like, as someone who loves old movies and loves obviously the video production aspect of things, I want one. That is awesome.
How long have you been working with her?
Well, she was working with a business that was previously in Apex, and so we were connected through them, and it's been years now. I mean, 6 or 7 years that I've known her, and she's been great. We'd like to have more, so if anybody knows other artists out there that would take this and do with what she does, then we're happy to pass it along.
Yeah.
We're going to stop for just a second and thank some of our sponsors. This episode of the Good Guide to Business podcast is brought to you by Ultra Roofing. Ultra Roofing is a family-run roofing business serving the Triangle and surrounding areas with over 15 years of experience. Through our business, we cherish the opportunity to share our life, passion, and success with those that we love and trust.
At Ultra Roofing, we take pride in the roofs we install because our name and reputation are at stake. "We got you covered" is more than just a slogan. It's our mantra. We treat every roof we install with the utmost care. We don't take shortcuts, and we don't use lesser quality materials. What you say about us matters, and we don't take any job for granted. When you work with Ultra Roofing, you won't be disappointed with the end result.
Visit ultraroofing.net today or call 800-977-3110. That's 800-977-3110. So we've seen about your video transfer or audio transfer service, and video transfer service as well, and how you preserve people's digital memories from things like VHS tapes or older things than that into something that's hopefully going to last a long time. Why did you decide to offer a service like that to people?
I mean, it really goes back to what we used to do. We kind of transitioned from doing wedding videos to what was the next step, and it really kind of fell into our laps. But then at the same time, I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, from just a human connection standpoint, I've always enjoyed getting to know people through my work, establishing connections. I used to be a barista for Starbucks, so just talking to people on a daily basis and getting to know them was something that I really enjoyed doing in my line of work. And doing media transfers is almost an extension of that, because not only are you taking something that is so sentimental to someone, but you're also, you have a sneak peek into their life. And you're able to kind of connect with someone through that way because you're preserving their memories and allowing them to share that with future generations. And the joy that you see on people's faces when they're like, wow, you can do this, you can recover. I haven't seen this person in years. They may have passed on. I haven't heard their voice in so long. Like, it really touches them in a way, and being able to be a part of that is probably one of the reasons that we both got into it.
That's really great hearing how much you guys get out of it, that kind of joy. And I'm always thinking too, like, media preservation is a big thing. Like, we always hear about these important films in our history that are lost because people couldn't preserve them or digitize them. But even on like a small aspect, like a smaller scale for families, what you guys do, I think it's really important that they get those memories and they get to have those forever, because, film, unfortunately, is something that won't last forever, but if we digitize it, it could.
Absolutely, and it goes off of what she said. We're really making that connection, and we also are able to sometimes save damaged items as well. So if someone has a house fire, they may go through and total the house, but stuff that you find that may be hidden in a corner or something may be smoke damaged, but we can still clean it and recover it and then make it digital so that you can have a copy and carry that on through the family history. So we're big into that as well.
That's awesome. What are some of the biggest things that you guys want our listeners and our viewers to know about 621 Productions?
That we're a local independent business. You know, it's literally mom and pop. My wife and I, and
Well, yeah, we are mom and pop. We are local. Obviously, we would love everyone to support local. What really differentiates us from big box companies is the amount of quality, time, and effort that we put into our product, as well as the extra step of, making sure that the items that are transferred are staying out of the landfill, that we are repurposing, that we do have, that extra step. We do take pride in our work. We work with a lot of generations that aren't familiar with the newer formats. So, we take the time to go through the process with everyone, explain the difference between a DVD and a flash drive. And we really pride ourselves in the quality of our work and the knowledge that we can bring to our customers.
Yeah, and everything you guys have said and I've heard, it really sounds like you guys are tied into this community here in Apex, that you're here for them and you just love being here. So what does this community, Apex, the surrounding area, what does that all mean to you guys?
well, Apex has been really great as far as a connection for us, because when we first moved to North Carolina, that was our hometown. I mean, we picked Apex right from the beginning, and the community is wonderful. The local shops downtown are wonderful. Even the other business owners, we all get along, and we are all a tight community as far as helping each other out and making sure that we're all successful. So I think that's really great. And, we're a diverse community. That's wonderful.
Apex is still growing. It's not done expanding. They're going through so many upcoming changes that we're very excited to be a part of. But yeah, it is a very tight-knit community.
Do you guys have a favorite memory or something that particularly stands out of things that you've recovered for people? Something that particularly touched you?
A lot of times, like Jen said, we have audio come in, and it'll be a reel-to-reel audio that they have not played in 30, 40 years. And it'll be their parent or their grandparent that they haven't heard in years. And just to take a few minutes with them and say, hey, let me put it on the machine really quick. It's open right now. You can listen to it right now. And we've had people, just take a step back, and their emotion in their face, you can just tell how happy they are. Because reel-to-reel audio is one of those things people don't think still sounds good, and it really does. It sounds sometimes like it was done yesterday. So for them to be able to hear their parent or grandparent again, and just to have that connection, it's sometimes overwhelming for them, and we are known to have tissues. But
I think for me, we work with a lot of downsizers and assisted living facilities for people who are going through different stages of life. And I recall there was a local social media influencer, yes, a social media influencer whose father was, probably had 2 weeks to live, and she had all of his 8mm film, and we're talking 4,000 feet, and she's like, if there's anything that you can do for me, I just want him to relive his memories, and sure enough, we were able to get everything together for him, and he was able to view everything before, he passed away. But she was so grateful, and you can tell there's such a relief that just comes off of their shoulders sometimes when they hand things to you. So that's probably one of the most memorable for me.
And it goes back to the personal connection. You come in and you can meet who's working on your project. It doesn't leave the studio. We're here working on it here, and we can do things like that. If it's a 2-week turnaround, which you can't get any other place, you can't send it away and get it back. We can work with customers that way, and it's very rewarding for us. It's great to see their reactions, and it's a happy time. So
That's so cool that you started your careers like preserving memories in weddings, like as they happen, and then now you're preserving memories that have already happened and bringing them back, sort of. That's so awesome. Do you guys have any social media that you want to plug on here so that people can follow you?
yeah, absolutely. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. It's just at 621 Productions. YouTube, pretty much everything. Instagram seems to be the way to go these days.
Oh yeah, I agree with you on that one. Yeah.
And is there anything else that you would like to add that we haven't talked about?
No, we're thankful for the Better Business Bureau. I mean, it's great having the support that you guys have given us, and working with other local businesses and really trying to do the right thing for the environment. And yeah, the Torch Awards we've won, I should put them out.
Just the subtle flex right there. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for agreeing to be on the show and for welcoming us into your building here. It was really great hearing even more about, your environmental initiatives, but also, how you preserve these memories for people and these personal connections you make. So thank you guys so much again.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And to all of our listeners, thank you guys for tuning into this episode of The Good Guide to Business.
You can follow us on social media at BBB Eastern NC. That's on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, probably some others, LinkedIn. And listen to The Good Guide on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever else you listen to podcasts. We release episodes every other Wednesday.
All right, well, stay safe, and we will see you guys next time.